Welcome to another episode of the Practical English Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Angela. We're so glad you could join us today.
In today's episode, we'll practice speaking English with more confidence through real-life conversations, shadowing exercises, and natural speaking practice.
That's right. If you sometimes feel nervous, shy, or stuck while speaking English, this episode will help you become more comfortable expressing yourself naturally and confidently. We've all been there, and today is all about breaking through that barrier.
Exactly. This episode is designed specifically for learners who want to improve their English speaking confidence.
It's for you if you want to sound more natural in conversations, if you want to practice your pronunciation and fluency,
or if you just want to stop overthinking when you speak. We're focusing on building real, practical communication skills.
So, here's what we have planned for you today. We'll start with a real-life English conversation between Mike and me. It's a casual chat, the kind you might have with a friend.
After that, we'll guide you through some shadowing and repetition practice. This is where you get to actively speak and copy what you hear. It's one of the best ways to improve your flow.
Yep, we'll also cover some natural, everyday expressions that came up in our conversation, and we'll have dedicated exercises for your pronunciation and fluency.
Finally, we'll wrap up with some powerful, confidence-building speaking tips you can start using right away. Plus, this whole episode serves as great listening practice for B1 to C1 level learners. Are you ready to get started, Angela?
I'm ready. Let's dive into our first segment, a real-life conversation. Mike and I are going to chat about our plans for an upcoming long weekend. Listen carefully for the natural flow and the expressions we use.
Hey, Angela, are you excited about the long weekend coming up?
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to it. A whole extra day to relax. What are you up to?
To be honest, I haven't given it much thought yet. I was thinking of maybe just taking it easy, maybe catching up on some movies.
That sounds nice and relaxing. I was actually hoping to get out of the city for a day, maybe go for a hike. The weather is supposed to be amazing on Saturday.
Hike, that's a great idea. I could definitely use some fresh air. Where were you thinking of going?
There's a great trail about an hour's drive from here called Eagle Peak. The views from the top are incredible.
I've heard of that place. If you're looking for company, count me in.
Awesome. The more the merrier. We could pack a lunch and make it a day of it.
That sounds great. How difficult is the trail? I'm in decent shape, but I don't want to be completely exhausted by the end of it. All right, and we're back. That was a pretty typical informal conversation. Now, let's break down a few of the useful phrases we used. Angela, what's the first one that stands out to you?
I think a good one is, I haven't given it much thought. Mike, you used this when I asked about your plans. It's a very natural way to say you haven't thought about something yet. It sounds much more fluent than saying, I don't have a plan.
Exactly. It's softer and more conversational. Another good one was when I said, count me in. This is a casual, friendly way to say I want to join or I'll participate. It shows enthusiasm.
Right. And I replied with, the more the merrier. This is a classic English idiom that means a situation is more enjoyable with more people. It's a very welcoming phrase.
Definitely. And the last one is, let's play it by ear. I said this about the rest of the weekend. It means let's be spontaneous and decide what to do as we go rather than making a fixed plan. It's super common in everyday speech.
Great choices. Now let's move on to our shadowing practice. This is your chance to speak. The goal is to copy our pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation as closely as possible. We'll say a sentence and then we'll leave a pause for you to repeat it. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try your best.
Ready? Let's start with some short phrases. I'll go first. Then there will be a pause for you to repeat. Then Angela will say it, followed by another pause for you. What are you up to?
What are you up to?
That sounds nice.
That sounds nice.
Count me in.
Count me in.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Excellent. Now for some longer sentences. Remember to listen to the rhythm. To be honest, I haven't given it much thought yet.
To be honest, I haven't given it much thought yet.
I was actually hoping to get out of the city for a day.
I was actually hoping to get out of the city for a day.
We could pack a lunch and make a day of it.
We could pack a lunch and make a day of it.
As for the rest of the weekend, should we just play it by ear?
As for the rest of the weekend, should we just play it by ear?
Fantastic work. Shadowing can feel a little strange at first, but it is one of the most effective ways to improve your speaking skills.
It really is. And that leads us perfectly into our next section, confidence building tips, because practicing like this is the foundation of confidence.
That's so true. So our first tip is directly related to what we just did. Repeat phrases out loud. Don't just listen to English, you have to physically say the words. Your mouth and tongue are muscles and may need practice to produce new sounds correctly and smoothly.
And that brings us to tip number 2. Don't focus on perfect grammar. This is a huge one. So many learners get stuck because they're afraid of making a mistake. In real conversation, communication is more important than perfection. Did the other person understand you? If yes, you succeeded.
Right. Native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time. The goal is to express your ideas. Fluency will improve with practice, but you can't practice if you're too afraid to speak.
Exactly. Tip number 3 is to practice shadowing daily. Even just 5 or 10 minutes a day makes a massive difference. You can shadow this podcast, a scene from a TV show, or a YouTube video. Consistency is key. It builds muscle memory and makes speaking feel more automatic.
And when you're shadowing, that brings us to tip 4. Listen carefully to the rhythm and pronunciation. English has a specific musicality. We call it intonation and sentence stress. It's not just about saying the right words, but saying them with the right melody. Shadowing helps you capture this music.
That's a great way to put it, the music of the language. Finally, tip number 5, speak slowly and clearly with confidence. Many learners think speaking fast means they are fluent. That's not true. Speaking clearly is much more important. Take your time, take a breath, and say your sentences deliberately. It makes you sound more confident and you'll make fewer mistakes.
I couldn't agree more. A calm, measured pace is a sign of confidence. There's no rush. So to recap our 5 tips, repeat phrases out loud, don't focus on perfect grammar, practice shadowing daily, listen to the rhythm, and speak slowly and clearly.
And with that, we're nearing the end of our episode. Today, we practiced with a real-life conversation, broke down some natural expressions, and worked on our speaking fluency with shadowing exercises.
The key takeaway is that confidence comes from action. It's not a magical feeling you wait for, it's something you build every time you open your mouth and try.
That's it exactly. Confidence grows every time you practice speaking, even with small steps. So relax, practice, and enjoy learning English naturally. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Angela.
And I'm Mike. We'll see you in the next episode of the Practical English Podcast. Keep practicing.